No, I'm going to spend this afternoon in the water, though it's absolutely gorgeous here today in Plymouth. The sun is out and everybody is out on the hoe. It's a magnificent day here.
You must be exceptionally delighted because you're a Plymouth boy.
Yes, I grew up here in the city. I mean, just to give this announcement a little bit of context, 150 years ago, the great big national parks on land began to be built. But what we did is we forgot about the oceans and how important it was to protect the oceans. And this announcement today is historic, it's pioneering. For me, it's an absolute delight to see this happening here in the city which I grew up as a young boy.
What does the phrase National Marine Park actually mean?
So what it means, what has been happening now is that we realise that there's so many organisations and different people using the waters here in Plymouth Sound. We've got the Royal Navy, we've got the fishing community, we've got the shipping community, we've got conservationists, scientists and swimmers, and everybody is using this area. And it's also home to, as you mentioned earlier on, over 1,000 different species of wildlife. And in order to be able to create this marine protected area, it's important that every single one of these groups is involved in protecting it. Because what we found in other parts of the world is that unless everybody is involved, then the possibility of these things working is reduced.
For people that don't know the area, just describe Plymouth Sound to us.
Well, Plymouth Sound's obviously in the southwest here of the United Kingdom. It's a fairly large area. We've got two rivers coming down, and it is home, obviously, to a large part of the Royal Navy. It truly is one of the most magnificent parts of the south coast of England. Plymouth describes itself as Britain's ocean city, and it certainly is that.
Now, how significant is this marine park, given that, as you mentioned there, talking about the Royal Navy, it's home to the largest naval base in Western Europe?
I think it's very, very significant. It's not just significant for this city, it's not just significant for the United Kingdom, but I hope that it's significant also for other countries. And the reason is because this is a process. We're learning how to start building these national marine parks. The lessons which we learn here in Plymouth, we hope to share with all the other towns and cities around the United Kingdom and also with the rest of the world.
What lessons have you learned then, or have been learned there?
Well, the main lesson is just how important it is that every single stakeholder has a voice in creating these marine protected areas. Where we've created marine protected areas in other parts of the world and local communities don't have a voice, they really don't work. But when everybody has a voice, when everybody feels ownership of these protected areas, then they really do work.
And paint the picture for us. I mean, people will think that this area of water is just full of mud, but, I mean, 1,000 different species. What are down there?
No, it's far from mud. This is one of the most vibrant pieces of our coastline in the United Kingdom. When I swam along the coastline here, this was absolutely magnificent. I swam past the lighthouse a few kilometres out to sea. Underneath me is kelp, there's fish, there's dolphins. There's 1,000 different marine species underneath us, just because we can't see them. And just because the water isn't this turquoise blue, which you see in in other parts of the world, doesn't mean that it isn't a vibrant ecosystem.